Hey there, and welcome to my review of my DPMS LR308. Actually, someone requested that I do a review of the Osprey 10-40 power scope that's on there, and that's primarily what this is. But while we're at it, I'll talk about a few of the other things that are on this gun and give you an idea how it shoots and how well it holds up. Alright, first of all, let's talk about the scope. Let me tell you what my intention was when I was building this rifle. First of all, I wanted to get a Nightforce scope, but they're $1,300 to $1,600, and I am, like many people, on a budget. So I found this one, which you could find for $150 plus or minus, I don't know, 10 or 20. How could a cheap scope like that possibly compare to something like a Nightforce? Well, I read some horror stories about these things, but I figured it's $150-ish, so what have I got to lose? I can try it. If it doesn't work, I can switch to something else. And I'll tell you what I found. First of all, it is 10-40 power, and it's a 50mm objective lens. The manufacturer claims, and I have no reason to doubt, that they're fully coated, multi-coated lenses. It's a big scope, it's heavy, it's solidly built. It's 15.5 inches long and weighs just over 36 ounces. The tube is a 30mm tube, and the field of view at 100 yards is 9.8 feet. That's at 10 power, and at 40 power it goes down to 2.7 feet. The eye relief is, they say, 3 to 3.5 inches. It's really 3 inches. It is what it is. The windage and elevation, the clicks are 1/8 MOA or MOA, and I don't know if you can see these holes for Allen screws, but you can actually, once you get it zeroed in, set it to 0 at the marks. The reticle, which I'll show you shortly, is a range-finding reticle, and I will tell you that the instructions don't tell you how to use it. Easy enough to figure out, though, if you use known ranges. It comes with flip-up lens protectors, and in the box came with these instructions, which are really basic things. And you think for $150 having a powerful scope like that isn't enough? It comes with the rings. Okay, these, in my experience anyway, are absolute garbage. And I would have thrown them away, but I don't throw anything away for some reason. When I get a new scope, I will typically bore sight it just to make sure I get it on paper when I get to the range. And with those rings, it didn't have enough. It just, even at 30 feet, didn't have enough windage adjustment to get it lined up. So I went and I got some Leupold rings. It's funny, the rings were about as expensive as the scope, but well worth it, and I can use them if I ever do need to get another scope. Okay, and the other controls. This is for adjusting the focus on the reticle. You've got your 10-40 power zoom. This is for the lighted reticle. It's green or red. And then on the other side you have your parallax adjustment. And what we can do now is take a look through the lens and you can see what it looks like. Please excuse the shaking. I'm holding the camera by hand now. I'm using a white background just to avoid distractions. First, here's the green illumination, which is great during the day. Now I'm going to switch over to the red, which is something that you would use in a low light situation. Alright, looking at a target that is 100 yards away. We're at 10 power magnification, and zooming in to 40. That's a 6-inch target, by the way. And just so you can see, there it is at 100 yards. Now I've put probably close to 700 rounds through this at this point. I can tell you that it has not lost its zero. It does not fog up. I've used it in temperatures from 40 degrees to 95 degrees and maybe higher. The only real drawback, and I'll consider the price, is that at just starting at like 38 power, it does start to get slightly blurry, but you know what? It is still very usable. This is a .308 caliber, as I said, and the manufacturer claims that this will withstand up to 50 BMG. I can tell you that .308 doesn't hurt it whatsoever. There's nothing plastic on it except for the lens covers, and those have even survived you know, the 700 rounds that went through it. Overall, I have to say that I'm happy with this. I didn't expect to be, but it works, and it's pretty accurate, and I'll show you how accurate in a little while. Alright, moving on, let's take a look at a couple of other things. Something that I added to this gun is a drop-in Timney trigger. Here's what it looks like. And this is the package that the trigger came in. It came with very easy to follow instructions. The installation was maybe 10 minutes. There's no gunsmithing, fitting, or adjusting required. It literally just drops in using your rifle's original hammer pins. It's made of 6061 T6 alloy, the housing is, and it's anodized. The hammer is machined from S7 tool steel, which will resist wear, has superior impact resistance, and will not chip or break. Then the hammer has a Teflon nickel coating, which delivers a very smooth trigger pull. And the pull, by the way, is not adjustable. It's factory set at 4 pounds. It's very crisp, and compared to the original trigger's pull, which, by the way, was one of only 2 complaints I had about this gun, the original trigger. And it was like pulling through a mile of gravel. So I'm going to try and show you what it looks like to pull this trigger. Let me, here. Oh wait, I probably need to do this. I love that sound. Alright, it's a 4 pound pull. Watch how much my finger moves. Not much at all. That's it, every time. Very predictable, and that probably is the single most effective modification I made to the gun with regard to accuracy. Next up we have the buttstock. This is the sharpshooting stick, ARS sharpshooting stick from Command Arms Accessories, or CAA. It is adjustable in pretty much any way you can think. It does add a little bit of weight to the gun. It is just under 2 pounds. I think it's at 1.95 pounds. But as I said, everything's adjustable. Length of pull, you adjust, you loosen up here, and then you move it forward and back. It's adjustable from 9 to 11.5 inches. For cheek weld purposes, this piece moves up and down. Just tighten it here. And further adjustment for basically for, depending on your eye relief, this moves forward and back. The rubber butt pad is adjustable by loosening that piece, and it goes from that height to there. And the monopod goes in 3 different positions, either straight forward like so, 45 degrees, or 90 degrees. And the height is adjustable, either a coarse adjustment, like so, or this piece turns and will allow you to adjust it to a minute degree. Also, this piece over here, they say you can attach any device that will go to a Picatinny wrap. Next up, it has a Paris bipod, and last but not least, if you recall, I said I had two issues with the gun. First one was the trigger. The second was I used to have feed problems with this. 1 out of every 4 would just jam in there. And what I sent it back to DPMS. I tried lots of things. Sent it to DPMS to have the feed ramps polished, and didn't make a difference. And then I did some research and found that at the time this was made, their magazines had a problem, and this was causing the feed problems. What I did was a little bit of research and found the PMags by Magpul, which have a couple of advantages. One is that it holds 20 rounds instead of 19. It also has a dust cover, and it's polymer. Now, you might say, are you crazy? A plastic magazine instead of a metal one? Well, I'll tell you what, if you go on search the videos for PMag, you'll find people running over these things with Jeeps, and they survive. They're just really an excellent product. And this, I said that I put 700 rounds through here. Probably 600 of them were through the PMags. Whoops. And I have had zero, not one, zero feed problems since switching to the PMag. So that's another thing that I highly recommend. So the original purpose of this video was to talk about the Osprey 10-40 power scope and whether it's accurate and durable. Well, I'll tell you what, this was a quarter that I shot at 200 yards. Is it accurate? Yeah, it is. Now, full disclosure, I had actually put up 5 quarters, and at 200 yards, that was the best of them. But it took 7 shots to hit 5 quarters, and again at 200 yards. It took a little bit of experimenting with the ammunition, and I found that the Hornady 168 grain match ammo is what this particular rifle wants to eat. So overall, I have to say that the Osprey 10-40 power scope is, well, obviously it's an incredible value at $150 plus or minus a little bit. It is durable, it is accurate, and I've had really no problems with it, and it certainly can handle the pressures that come from a 308. I do recommend this for people who are on a budget, or until you're waiting like me to get your Nightforce 12-42 power scope. Anyway, thank you for watching my review of the DPMS with the Osprey 10-40 Riflescope, and happy shooting, guys.